Hey everyone, it's John Taylor. How you doing today? Today is Monday, December 8th, 2025. Got a lot of great news to kind of go over today. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, etc. You can check it out. I'm on my news desk and prop trading desk. So what I do is I go over geopolitics and then socioeconomics for myself every day. It's my morning routine. I record it and then put it out there on the tube for my wonderful viewers. And then I go over my trading plan for the day. Stock market's going to open up in about 10 minutes or so. And then I give free alpha. So make sure, read the risk disclosures below and everything. Not a lot today on the economic calendar. Let's look first at what's being reported on bar chart. Stocks are set to open as investors await the Fed meeting. So we got FOMC decision, interest rates. Is the Federal Reserve going to save the day and lower interest rates? So that's the story. Everyone kind of waits for it. Protesting in Greece. Farmers swarm onto Apron area of International Airport in Crete. So farmers are, getting kind of excited there in Greece. Bloomberg expands his support of mayors globally to help save democracy and improve trash pickup. Wall Street ticks modestly higher ahead of Wednesday's interest rate decisions by the Fed. So it's all Fed wait. We all wait. News on ResMed stock. So soybean market, Kraft Heinz underperforming, Delta Airlines, Hartford stock performing compared to other insurance companies, Block Inc., underperforming tech, Square. So let's kind of look at the major market overview. Our S&P's up 12 points for the mini Nasdaq up 85 points, the Dow futures up 55, the VIX holding steady at 17.20, the DXY at 98.93, the 10-year. Got to watch the yield on the 10-year, it's 112-140. Crude oil holding steady at 59.20. Good news on crude, they're trying to control inflation and keep fuel costs calm. Let's see, nat gas, gold is flat at 4,238 to the ounce. Silver at 58.75. So that's what's being reported on the major markets. The stocks that are active, Broadcom up, Tesla's active, Apple Computer, Chemtrex is up, NVIDIA active, Meta Platforms, Facebook, Confluent active, SLB active, so these are the active stocks. And Smart Sand, stock symbol SND, is a chart of the day, leading producer of northern white fracking sand. So their stock's been active. So that's what's being reported on bar chart. So a lot of news. Here's on Yahoo Finance, you ready? How the Fed follows this week's hawkish cut is far from certain. Near total conviction for the rate cut this week meeting puts the focus on what happens in 2026. U.S. stock futures steady as big Fed week kicks off. China's trade surplus tops $1 trillion for the first time. News on Costco there with that. I like it. Trump's going to be traveling to Pennsylvania. They're starting to open up some steel mills, in Pennsylvania here that have been idle for quite some time. It's good. Protectionism. Increase those tariffs. And then all the textile jobs. There's thousands of factories here in the U.S. that are idle because all the goods are manufactured overseas in China and Myanmar and Bangladesh. So, creating tariffs helps create jobs here in the U.S. Trump's problem, comments raised doubt over the Netflix deal, Warner Brothers being acquired, Berkshire Hathaway stock picker Todd Combs to leave for J.P. Morgan. Traders dump big tech, load up on laggards in the year-end switcheroo. Bond market reaction to Fed rate cut had been highly unusual. Netflix $72 billion deal for Time Warner Brothers caught Wall Street off guard. So Netflix Warner deal may pose antitrust problems. India's Tata signs up. Intel is first major customer for its $14 billion chip foray. So I just go over the geopolitics news and socioeconomics, and then I go over a trading plan. So stay with me. Please give my video a like and a share, and let's get the word out. Got a lot of new viewers and new subs. I'm looking for subscribers. CoreWeave shares fall on $2 billion convertible note deal. Leadership shakeup at Berkshire Hathaway ahead of Warren Buffett's exit. Structure experimental pill shows 11% weight loss. All right, so Smith and Nephew sets ambitious target after turnaround. Copper climbs to record. Dr. Copper. I own a bunch of copper bullion. Here, I'll show them to you here if I can. I don't want to disturb my camera, but I was a buyer of copper. Precious metals are looking good. So that's what's being reported on Yahoo Finance. I bought the dip. We'll talk about crypto now. I did a bunch of dip trades, a lot of washout there on the Bitcoin recently from its all-time high, like 126,000. So my lowest purchase at Bitcoin was 89,474, and it pumped here recently to 92,300, and then up to 94,000. So I have a nice trade going on with Bitcoin. I DCA it every 2 weeks, and then, I've been setting pivot points and then taking huge profits. So I bought some again as low as 89,000, and then it pumped to 90 again. It's, done real well. So we'll see. Bitcoin, you got Ethereum. ETH is up. Bitcoin's up almost 3%. Ethereum up 3.71%. I think Ethereum is oversold technically, so I'm a buyer of it. I own Solana and then XRP. So Ripple's up about 3% too. And then Zcash, the privacy coins are doing really well. Gotta take a little water. Zcash and then privacy tokens. Pepe is up. Dog with Hat, Chainlink, Stinky Link, Litecoin is up nicely. So we're going to have an incredible altcoin season starting in Q1 of 2026. So Bitcoin looks good. I got open limit orders to purchase Bitcoin 3 levels deep at the pivot points. I'm trying to purchase increasing amounts of Bitcoin at 87,600, 85,900, and 83,300. So if might be able to buy the dip today on a price retracement. So we shall see. I bought the dip nicely and then did a nice pivot point trade. So that's what I have for Bitcoin. I'll DCA it today also. I'm looking at the National Debt Clock, usdebtclock.org. The U.S. debt is 38,450,000,000. It's just 38,452,000,000,000. It makes me dizzy to see that debt. So, and how are we going to survive this? Now, here's the thing too, have you lost your job recently to AI, the artificial intelligence? So check this out. You can see the link down below, the AI graphic artist course. So if you do graphic arts, I just penned an ebook you can read for free on Amazon Kindle, the AI graphic artist course. It's a Kindle edition. So I don't run commercials on my channel, but Photoshop and looking at how to be a creative conductor using the artificial intelligence. So again, check out my links below. So let's look at Wall Street here real quick. I've been looking at Wall Street. The Fed will talk a lot about reserve balances and reserve management purchases at its FOMC meeting. AI spending war and the AI debt pileup could squeeze share buybacks. A lot of the stock shares, their stocks are up, the tech, but the insiders are selling, but then at the same time they're having their board of directors borrow money in the debt market and then go ahead and purchase additional shares on the stock repurchase, and that causes their stock to go up in price. So how long is that going to last? We shall see. The Great Reset. I'm going to pen an ebook here on the Great Reset. It's been quite some time. The last reset was 1971. Stock market's just opened. Blockchain ETF's up nicely. I have both of those. Ethereum's up nicely. So the stock market's pumped, but man, how long is this going to last with a $40 trillion debt? So let's see, gold bullion was made illegal to own in 1933, and then 1934, silver bullion was made illegal to own. You had to turn it in. And then 1971, President Nixon removed us off the gold standard, the US dollar. So now it's been over 50 years, so it's time to do a great reset. Anytime that debt gets too much, especially with the US debt, it looks like we could have a bank holidays type thing. So with that, I mean, I own thousands of these things that I manufactured myself. I'll show them to you. These are all silver coins, all silver bullion. You can hear them. I'm selling those on eBay. They're doing incredible. So where do I go with these hyperinflated dollars? Just give you my free alpha. So this is what I do. S&P 500, my trading plan, I'll continue to DCA it. It's up nicely this morning. BKCH, blockchain ETF, I continue to DCA it. It's up about 3%. Block, BLOK, up nicely. And then Ethereum, ETHE, I'll continue. It's up 5% today, the Ethereum ETF. So I think, and I've shown this to you before on my channel, looking at, on bar chart has a nice section here where you look at commodities. Again, I'm not a commodity trading advisor or CTA, but if you look at the futures, long-term trends, right, on the futures, silver bullion has the greatest weighted alpha at plus 96.45. So I'm a seller of silver bullion products with a hyperinflated dollars. Now where do I go? Well, the greatest oversold commodity is negative 68 with orange juice. So is orange juice worth a squeeze? So what can I purchase that is oversold technically, that has a long shelf life? Butter, cocoa, rough rice, lumber, cheese, S&P VIX is oversold, sugar. So Bitcoin futures and Ethereum futures are oversold. They got a negative 21, negative 22 weighted alpha versus silver bullion. So I'm selling my silver bullion products, taking those hyperinflated dollars and then purchasing Bitcoin and Ethereum as they are oversold and have the longest shelf life. So that's what we have. I'm purchasing the Grayscale Ethereum ETF. Purchasing that today, looking good. I'll continue to DCA it. And then Bitcoin. Bitcoin's pumping this morning, had a nice pivot. So I just go over my trading plan. Again, information purposes only, opinion only. So I'll dollar cost average SPY ETF for the S&P 500. I'll dollar cost average BKCH, the blockchain ETF. I'll dollar cost average block, BLOK. Then I'll continue to dollar cost average Ethereum ETF and purchase Bitcoin, hopefully on a price retracement if I can get some on the dippy dip. You know, all those, you guys who were trading on the margin, you got wiped out, on the leveraged exchanges. So I'm still in the game. I don't trade on the margin, so I've had a drawdown too, but I continue to trade Bitcoin and it's doing wonderful. I've pulled a couple thousand points out of a trade here in the last week. So check out my links below. You can read my ebook for free on becoming a graphic artist and how to earn a living with such using the artificial intelligence. Stock market's up and good. BKCH, let's see here. Stock's pumping. It's an ETF here. Owns Coinbase, Bitminer, Iron Limited, Applied Digital, Cipher Mining, TeraWulf, Hut 8, CleanSpark, Core Scientific, and Galaxy Digital Holdings. Those are the biggest ones. Let's see how Coinbase is doing today. I've owned stock in Coinbase for years. Coinbase pre-market was up about 3%. Bitminer, Immersion Technologies, trying to cool those miners off. Up nicely, this pre-market up about 5%, right at the open too. Bitminer's up good. Iron Limited. Iron, pre-market early this morning up in the pre-market about 3%. So I kind of look at these stock shares that are inside of my ETF. Applied Digital looking great. Bam. Got that. Applied Digital. Cipher Mining. Let's see Cipher Mining. Stock's up nicely at the open, up 3%. Very actively traded, these stocks, TeraWulf, CleanSpark. So that's what we have there for the blockchain ETF. So Block, owns MicroStrategy. So I've been a buyer of MicroStrategy. Let's see how Strategy is doing this morning. Strategy Inc., MSTR is a stock symbol. Strategy's up nicely pre-market, right at the open at 185. Now I've been accumulating Strategy since the dippy dip to about $156 a share. So it was a 100% strong sell on this downtrend. So after everyone capitulates, I'll start dollar cost averaging Strategy. So the one ETF that I have, Block, BLOK, owns a lot of Strategy stock as a concentration or percentage. So I'll continue to add to my allocation of such. So that's what I got for my trading plan. Running about 17 minutes today. So let the trend be your friend. Always trade in the direction of the trend. Let's see if we can get some Bitcoin today. And then I'll be penning a new ebook on the Great Reset, the national debt. And we could see, even though it's not PC, but we could see some bank holidays here. I'm thinking in 2026, 2027 as they reset the debt. So we could see, it's far out, but we could see a 90% dip in the valuation of the US dollar as it's revalued, and then austerity measures, government spending drops, and see huge unemployment. So how do you hedge against that and survive? Precious metals like I have here. This is a great way to survive, owning thousands of these things and then selling them for huge profits. And then looking at Bitcoin, looking at the dollar value of the US dollar, blockchain, ETFs, and then preparing for the Great Reset. So we shall see. So I say this every day, I give thanks for my abundant supply now manifested. I have it now. So everyone, it's John Taylor on his news desk and prop trading desk here. And let the trend be your friend and have a super wonderful, great day. Let's wait for the Fed. Are they going to lower interest rates at the Federal Reserve?